We're in the wrong thing.
Oh yeah, I am in the wrong.
Move into the fucking podcast voice
Yeah,
chat.
I realised. Hello now, I'm here. I only cocked up a lot. So
I think boat posting's had enough.
I did.
Wait.
Is he gonna join the?
Hello.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I reckon just lock out the voice chat.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Edit
Do you want to
channel.
just go onto my Discord where I've got everything set up perfectly for it?
Mate. Permissions.
Nah, fam.
Manage channel. I don't know. Just trying to learn. I've only had Discord for like 7 minutes to do this, so.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, fuck.
We are 100% organised.
Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
This
We
is
are
it.
super
That's a
acoustic.
freaky tune.
Fuck off, Reddit.
Anyway, I don't think it really matters, because if people join, they just join. It'd be even more stupid. Good talk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go team.
Call me Ben because all my bitches be 10.
Oh no.
Hey, I just shared that.
I did too.
Yeah, 10 years old.
Oops.
Oh, FBI, open up.
Right, so what are we... Right, we should probably introduce this, because I've been recording again.
Hi, I'm the Tiger King.
Fucking hell.
That bitch Carol Baskin.
Fuck
Oh no. Right, I think we need to ban some topics, politics being one of them.
I still haven't seen
Where's
it.
the fun in that?
Oh Jesus.
Chat shit get monetized.
Chat
Are we
shit,
recording
get
yet?
Yeah, we are.
Hello.
Oh, we are recording.
Hello, governor.
Is this thing on?
Is this thing
Hello?
on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Is this thing on?
Hello? Hello?
Be the noisiest start to any.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
No, 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 no!
G'day.
Right, we should. I'm sorry, I'm gone.
We're back again with the Shitposters podcast. I'm again joined with the little SR that could.
Hey.
Toyota Chase posting.
What up, guys? I'm back again.
And boat posting / tick posting. He's new.
GTE posting
geez,
joins
stop.
now.
And Kyle just joined as well.
Yay.
Kyle.
Cunts.
Kyle, we've just started
Wow,
recording.
12 Discord notifications. Cheers.
What?
You're welcome.
What? What?
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Well, so did you guys just start?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I'm
was
still on
midway
the
through the
fucking-
intro.
Wait,
when you
and are
joined.
we just going to start this again, or?
Yeah, you might as
Nah,
well. There's no
send it.
point.
Nah, this
Okay.
is
Ah, fuck
this
it.
is the endearing entertainment that is the shit.
I'm still on the toilet.
We can tell. It sounds like you're in
Do
a
you just
hall.
live on the fucking toilet, cunt? Jesus Christ.
Extreme echo.
Extreme indeed.
Wait, if we all be quiet, we might hear it plop.
And if we all be quiet, we might hear his fucking bumper crunch on his fucking X100.
Oh.
Alright,
like
about to head out.
Oh.
Not the bathroom, not the VC. Let's fucking get the podcast started. Oh, actually, hold on.
This is going in. This is 100% going in.
Alright, so what's the topic for today then?
We were kind of winging it a
Is
bit.
there even a topic?
I think
Well,
we're
is it all
talking
winging
about.
it?
Started at least?
With a side of quarantine.
Yeah, I
love
think
how
we.
we're deciding this in the podcast.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk
Well,
about
that works.
quarantine. That's it. Like how shit it is, basically. But we're also going to
Don't
talk
base
about the
it-
benefits.
No,
of...
hang on. The quarantine isn't that bad.
Well,
Yeah, it's just my
is
normal
exceptional.
social life.
No. The quarantine's better It just means that you get less fuckwits on the road and more toke.
Actually, no, I disagree with that because I was on my way home from work bloody yesterday. I'm driving on the back road on the way home, and I pass a town, and there's this little blue Daihatsu hatch that like pulls out in front of me. It's got no plates on. It's got like a full load of people in it. They all look like they're around 18, and they're fucking flying. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, what do I do about this? Because that does not look legal at all. And they're just, oh, about me, they're just fucking flying past. And I'm like, fucking Jesus, so much for quarantine.
The problem I've noticed is that now all of the people our age and the middle-aged individuals, they're all being good and staying at home and self-quarantining. Now the problem is that all the boomers are like, oh god, I'm gonna catch this virus and die. Time to go and do 20 under the limit everywhere on the road. I have seen so many elderly people go slow. I get stuck behind them. I saw someone turn left off a main road, so they have right of way because they're coming off the main road, you know, they're not crossing another lane.
Yeah.
And Karen is turning into the same road over from the other side of the road in her Prado, and she starts coming over a bit early because she's in a hurry. And the boomer that's turning into the road slams on their brakes as they think Karen's about to T-bone them, and then they're stuck there for like 10 seconds. And I'm just sitting behind them like, hello, are you all right? Like, what's happening? Like, elderly people lose all sentience once they get in a car and get on the road. They just forget they have to remember to breathe. Like, it's horrible.
Do you know what
Well,
the
have you
biggest
seen
pet
all these
peeve that I have?
Go on.
The
Like,
biggest
3 people
pet
saying
peeve I
stuff
have
and-
is you're going, you're like, all right, I'm going 60, the speed limit's now 80. Go to 80 at a decent rate. And it's like, oh yeah. Then like you have a Karen in front of you in a little Hyundai i30 buzzbox little shitbox thing. And you're like, and she's just going about her day, putt 60 Ks, sees a sign, continues to go at 60 Ks, climbing 1K per minute. And it's just like, the speed limit's fucking 80 now. You can go 80. But then, like,
everyone hates that
gets
shit.
to 80,
Yeah,
but she's not doing 80, she's doing 90.
You gotta give
And
SRs
it's
to
like-
take the chance to get there. Like,
Yeah,
be
you need a
patient with
run
them.
up, you know? If Karen's in the way, you can't get your run up, and then you're stuck at 60.
Well, kind of off topic. Have you seen all these boomers that are going on about with all their fucking conspiracy theories?
Bruh,
Cheeto
What
was
about the virus?
Oh,
Sky
like
News
this
Australia
one guy.
released.
coronavirus.
Oh, jeez, there's this one guy I saw, right? And he's posted up a fucking sheet of a, what was it, US patent. And it's like coronavirus is put into immunizations and shit to help with other illnesses. And it's just like, bruh, it's coronavirus is a fucking category. It's not the actual name of this fucking thing. And then he's also going on about how you can only catch viruses through injection, like blood injection. Like, you autistic or what?
Yep. He is definitely sane.
Wait, are we
Oh,
shitposters or politicians?
Both.
I mean, I'm a shit posting
mean-
politician.
Yeah,
Whoa.
everyone's like,
Double whammy.
the quarantine's bad. I mean, I have to admit, I do miss the homies, but that's really the only downside because now I'm just at home. I don't have to go to work. I get a bit of time off because I know I only
Jeez, that
started
sucks for
work
you, doesn't it?
recently. But well, my factory is considered essential, so I was
Lucky you.
working, but of course it's a it's a yogurt and ice cream factory, and it's like coconut based yogurt and ice cream, so it's like vegan
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So it's expensive, and is obviously for vegans. And so it's not like, just regular Yoplait shit. So the sales are dropping because people aren't exactly going out to buy gourmet stuff right now. So because the sales are dropping, I'm not working because they're trying to cut back on casual stuff. So I'm taking a hiatus for a bit. Thankfully, I haven't been fired. But
Yeah.
now I just spend all my time on GooNet. Like I'm just looking at cars that are available for import. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait until after this virus passes and the Australian dollar hopefully goes back up a little bit against the yen, start doing some
Yeah.
importing. Because I just found out just yesterday they passed the Subaru Forester STI for import, and I'm not a
shit.
massive Subaru fan, but
you
I
can
really
leave
do love
straight
the
away.
yeah, I really do love the Forester STI, and yeah, they were like, oh, it finally got passed for import, and
So
it's
it-
like a what
in-
15-year-old car, so that's pretty lit.
So
Well,
in the
JZS
UK,
161's also got passed recently as well. The fucking Aristos that are like our Lexus IS 300s
Oh
and such.
yeah, oh yeah.
One
I
of my
saw that
mates
too.
actually, one of my mates got an engine swap in his IS 300, and that thing goes like stink. Almost
I'd
swapped
love
it for my
an
Majesta.
Aristo. Yeah, oh, I'd love an Aristo. The V300s are absolutely beautiful.
Mm.
see, what I find entertaining is the import law differences. Like in the UK, we've had so STI Foresters are like the ultimate chav wagon. Chav is like bogan. Like
Yeah.
the Impreza's pretty bad. Like is what would be
Oh, the
referred to.
Impreza here is ultimate P-plater. I want to look cool, but my parents didn't allow
that's
me
the
to get a turbo
go-to.
car.
That's the go-to. It's just like it's the only, especially for everyone on the East Coast where there's all those 130 kilowatt per ton restrictions.
Oh
It's
yeah,
kinda
we
just
don't
the
have that
go-to
over
because-
here.
Yeah, Western,
You
you
lucky
lucky
cunt.
bastard. You live in Western Australia, you got nothing. But over here on the East Coast, we've got a shit ton of restrictions, as we talked about in the last episode. But yeah, the Impreza is the go-to because it's really underpowered. So it's legal, despite the fact it's turbocharged, because the all-wheel drive weighs it down, and the EJ20T doesn't make more than like 160-something kilowatts anyway. So
See,
That's still more than my
Um,
S14.
yeah, I was gonna say that's more than my
yeah,
S14.
that's still more than an SR, but you know.
You've
the
also got
SRs
a
are
lot of
boxy, so-
drivetrain loss though as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, my other page admin, he still has his RS Impreza. I wish he'd hurry up and sell it, but he's still got his RS Hawkeye, and yeah, he won't shut the fuck up about how it's so slow because it has to send 160 horsepower evenly to each wheel, so therefore it just.
Oh,
like,
big
oh, it'd be-
fucking whoop.
Yeah,
He
I
obviously
was like,
doesn't know what he's
you know,
talking about for starters because it doesn't send it evenly to each wheel.
Oh, well, you know, like the distribution, it's not like, oh, yeah, I get it all sent to the front or the rear. It's like it's having to go to all four. So I thought, but, you know, it's all-wheel drive. Wouldn't that make it better
Sent
for
into a
launching and better for
tree.
acceleration? And he's like, no, it feels slower. And I'm like, I feel like people wouldn't make all-wheel drive cars if it was slower. So
This
Well,
guy's got no
what-
fucking clue.
Let me get a little bit scientific. Like, you got to think, like, if a car's rear-wheel drive, they're not quite gonna have as much loss because, like, you get most of your loss through like heat, sound, and like friction and all that sort of thing. So if you're
Yeah.
moving minimal parts being rear-wheel or front-wheel drive, you'll have as minimal drivetrain loss as you can. But then when you go to like all-wheel drive, you've got a lot more metal to turn, you've got a lot more weight to move, and you've got a lot more heat that you're making, a lot more noise, a lot more friction, and all that sort of thing. So
You know
got
what's
a little
also
bit-
hilarious? You get your P-platers who go for their short ratio gearboxes. Fine. Mint. They go hard. I got one in my WRX. But the thing is, they don't change the rear diff. And then they end up winding their center diff because their rear and front diff are completely different ratios. They fuck shit. They're actually hell of a lot slower. It just makes ominous sounds when you turn. Oh, mate.
See,
I was
in-
gonna say,
so-
I had a friend who had an RS Impreza, and it just started making a whining noise, and I was like, "Oh, that's sick! It sounds like a supercharger." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, this car isn't
got no gearbox
supercharged.
oil, mate."
Probably shouldn't be making that noise." Oh, you reckon that's what it was? I shit you not. 2 weeks later, the car blew up.
Is that a factory Ford BA power steering pump
Bruh.
supercharger?
I was like, oh, it's
Oh, mate.
whining. I was like, that's a weird noise. And then, yeah, like a few weeks later, his fucking car ran out of oil and the engine seized. So
Oh, yeah, been there.
cool and good.
I miss my B4.
see,
When I
this-
bought my Beamer for $500, my dad bought a Forester for $500 as well from the same guy that had blown a head gasket. And he had
Oh,
to
yeah?
drive it 2 hours back home, pulling over about 17 times to top it up with water. Finally got it home and I've been sitting under the bloody the freaking veranda thing for like 2 years because he hadn't had the money. He took the heads off, and it's just like the
Oh.
the short block just sitting there in the car, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
gonna
no.
get this running again. I might just get it sent away to the scrap."
Jesus.
Yeah, my friend who bought the RS Impreza, he bought it with only 3 cylinders firing.
Let's stop
And-
talking about Subarus because they fucking suck.
I kind
Like
of
I
agree.
don't know what the point. I don't know what the point of doing that is. If you buy a car, like it doesn't have to be related to Subaru. It can be related to any car. But you buy a car that barely makes any power to begin with, that doesn't work to fix to get running. That's kind of a thing you do with, rarer cars. You go, the engine's, the car's cheap because there's something wrong with the engine. I will pull it apart, put it back together, and now I've got a rare and expensive car for half the price or a third of the price because I took a punt by putting it back together. What's the point of doing that when a working version of the car only costs like $5 or $6 grand anyway?
Money.
Yeah, but
You know,
it's not that
you could
much
flog
money.
No, you could just flog it off, and then make some short stonks there and keep going.
Some
guess.
short
I don't know. I just
stonks.
heard that he was like, because we were in high school, so he was like flexing. He was like, "Yeah, my dad and I, we took it apart and we got it on an engine crane." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool. 2.5 RS Impreza. We care."
Right. Let's move on
cool
from
story.
Subarus briefly, because in the UK they're used to one thing. It's not rallying. All anyone does is take them to. There is one drag strip in the UK, and they do the same launch, which is all the limmy, and then all the bog, and then no movement.
That's
Dalby,
basically how they just work.
Lame.
I've got a
We've got the
soundboard.
same reputation all over the world.
you've got a
Yeah.
Do not be
soundboard.
changing.
I used to just
Yeah.
spin all 4 happily in my wrecks, though, until I ended up spinning my bearings.
Knock
Nice.
knock.
Who's there?
SRs.
You obviously didn't get the
Oh,
joke.
oh, I've been attacked.
But I did end up putting an RS Legacy motor into it that goes pretty hard. Too bad my job's a little bit always in the midst, so I can never fucking get reg on it to drive it, so it's probably starving it of oil.
Fuck, I bet you're
Oh,
the
lovely.
fun at parties.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Fun for other reasons, mate.
Let's move on to fun cars, like Toyotas. I don't know.
Alright, yeah, go on.
Yep, Subarus are a banned topic. We're taboo. We're not allowed to talk about them.
What, just
Fantastic.
for this one time, or?
Just forever.
I don't know. Apparently, these guys hate Subarus.
In the UK, they are hated with a passion. Like,
They're hated everywhere. Nobody really likes them. There's just people who can put up with them.
then why don't we
who
just have a
gives?
10-minute
No, I
discussion
used to
about
love
them?
them back when I had my B4 Liberty, but now I just tolerate them because I've had to fix that motor 4 times in that Liberty.
I wanna get a
We're allowed
Liberty.
to talk about them even if we don't like them. Stop.
I want to get a
what's stopping us from
Liberty,
talking
raise
about
it,
them?
and put it on mud tires and take it up bush.
All right,
Yeah.
better idea. What cars don't we like?
SRs.
Yeah.
Anything S chassis.
Here we go. Now
S or
I
R
have to be
chassis.
honest. I am starting to. This is actually a great segue onto. I saw an S chassis. I saw a Zenki S14 for sale locally. It's owned by a
Yo.
guy I know, for $9 grand. It
Really?
What's wrong
needs
with it?
a bunch of stuff done to it. I say a bunch. None of it's really that big. It's just stuff like the door cards are a bit shit, so he's got some new door cards ready to go in. The front bumper, I actually know him, so he was telling us that he reversed into the bump stop, in a car park. There's a little car park bump stop. So he reversed into that and cracked his rear bumper.
Ooh.
So he spent his money fixing that. And then once he fixed that, the very next day or sometime next week, he fucking hit an echidna doing like 100, and it just shattered the front bar.
Oh shit.
Spiky boy.
So, and of course, he just spent all his money fixing the rear one, so he didn't have money to fix the front one. So he's had, as far as I know, the car's been like that for probably like 9 or 10 months now, and he still hasn't fixed it and reattached it. He's still got the stock front bumper on, which doesn't color match. So the rest of the car was resprayed like this R33 GTR Midnight Purple.
Ooh.
But
That's
the
hot.
car is like red underneath. Yeah, it looks really good. So the front bumper is
Oh,
just the stock
no.
red bumper. Just with the rest of the car with like the D-Max body kit. But yeah, apart from that, everything else was pretty basic. I think he said it needed the diff needed re-shimming.
Oh, yeah, classic.
I don't even know what that means, but yeah, apparently
If it's
it can
Basically,
drive
the
fine,
crown's
but it
not
doesn't skid.
making contact with the pinion as it should.
Oh, I was gonna say if it's an
that
LSD,
didn't really
it's not
help,
as
but
tight as
cool.
it should be.
Someone's been
So
doing
it's
far
just-
too many skids.
Yeah, I was gonna say because in the blurb afterwards it says in parentheses, still drives fine, just no skids. And I was like, I guess he's been doing skids. So I think it was just small stuff, but it did. I think it recently just blew the gearbox up because he just said gearbox is fried. And I was like, well, great, that's really informative. You know, have you blown the whole fucking thing up, or is third slipping, or is fifth gear non-existent, or is a synchro with
If
second
s-
gone? Like, tell me what's wrong with it. Don't
You're
just say
giving
If
me
it's
second's
fried.
PTSD.
gone, just get a
But-
permanent marker and scribble out second. That way you can't shift into it.
That's how it
Yeah.
works.
But
Doesn't
yeah,
quite work like that.
Second delete.
It's pretty good. It looks pretty good. It's $9,000. I've seen it around. It's really weird. He did that whole blurb about the bad stuff, so at least he was honest and he listed all the negatives. But then he has a good, so he has the bad blurb and then the good blurb, and all of the stuff in the good isn't actually like he does a really terrible job of showcasing the car. Like I think it's a quite nice example. That D-Max body kit in the Midnight Purple looks really good, but he
I can
doesn't
imagine.
say. He doesn't say, oh, it's got a D-Max kit. It's been resprayed in Midnight Purple. He doesn't say it's definitely got some engine work done to it because you can see under the hood it's just a regular blacktop SR, but it's got a new intercooler piping, some aftermarket exhaust. Like there's nothing crazy, but there's little improvements. He doesn't mention them at all. The only thing he says is, people tell me it looks nice. It has rotor reps. That's
Oh.
it. That's all
right,
he
there we go.
says.
Yes, perfect.
But why
context,
would you
perfect
even-
context.
reps
Wait,
of
wait,
reps?
everyone stop. Reps. There we go. Now we've got a decent
Yeah.
topic that we can all
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
Why would you
What's
list that
this?
in the good section? I have rotor rims. Yay.
Reps, yo. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
can we just
praise.
get something sorted first? Do any of us run reps?
No,
No.
No, because I'm not
Good.
a peasant.
Good.
There you go.
because you're
The
not a
rep-free zone.
peasant. W bought the
Yeah, bro.
cheapest chaser I
run
have ever
genuine
seen.
steel wheels with
You are.
genuine dub
It's,
cams.
it's better than fucking nothing. I run stockies on the match.
That's
fuck
a-
My
Oh,
Escalade
wait,
just
so
came with
is
nice rims on it.
Is yours the one that's the 171 Majesta?
No, that's
No,
fucking.
you're in Western Australia. We just fucking I can't think of the word. Established that. So you've got the 186.
Yeah, I was the one who put into the fucking group chat me in Mexico.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say yeah, the one with the 171 is in Victoria. So,
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a long
Imagine
trip
spending
to go
two
for some skids.
Imagine, oh mate, it's legal though. But imagine spending $2,000 replacing your bags that are apparently blown. Turns out they're not.
You shouldn't even
Well,
run
you
bags.
did that, or
Bags,
did
why?
No, he did. Factory
Oh.
bags.
Bags are
he?
for
Who told him?
groceries.
They have
What?
factory bags.
Yeah,
Bruh.
I've got a little
Very
aftermarket
strong.
controller in mine. So hang on, I'm gonna send a fucking photo into.
No,
Hey, you
don't
boys.
send photos because I can't bother to edit them in.
Send it into the
You
group chat.
just like do the shittiest job editing them in. You don't even fade them in. They just fucking
Exactly.
appear.
Just be like, "Oh,
I got a jump scare when my own car came up on the screen. It was fucking huge, and it just randomly appeared. I'm like, oh, I drove a 1994 Ford Festiva. Boom, here's the fucking car.
My
Hey,
car
you
didn't
forgot
even
what
get
car you drive?
posted in.
Bam, here it is.
I was hoping. I was hoping for my car to be posted in, but it didn't. Everyone just posted my Reggie, and I was like, yeah, I suppose that'll do.
Oh,
When we
sorry.
compared it to the E36, it was there.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
disgusting.
Hey,
That's
Calvin,
actually,
guess what?
What?
Cal, guess what? On Assetto Corsa, I finally downloaded mods, and I got an RPS 13 and a 1J E36. The 1J E36 drives better.
I hate you.
Thanks.
Like,
I mean, at least he's got a
I thought
chaser
we
with
had
a 1J in it. Baby chaser
Oh,
with a 1J.
oh no, we're not getting onto this topic.
Oh,
yet.
there's that photo
No,
of that LS300, IS300 as well.
The 1J36 is like the retarded little brother of the Chaser. It's
I
like the one
want
that
a
no one
1J
really loves.
E36.
I
No one
don't
wants a
think they're even
1J36.
related, if I'm quite honest.
No, but look, factory bags are superior. That means you can just drop it on its hole at a moment's notice.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had them. That's kind of dope.
Oh yeah, they're great when they
I
don't
was
fuck
gonna-
out, but luckily mine's the upgraded ones because I've got IED protected floors.
I was going through Macca's yesterday at work, like for lunch, and there was a Holden Commodore Ute. I think it was a VY Ute pulled in front of me, and he's obviously getting it wrapped because half of it's this like teal blue, then it's missing a heap of panels, and he's pulled up. I'm pulling up behind him and just waiting in the line for Macca's, like the drive-through, and all of a sudden he just goes psh, and just drops it on its guts, and I'm like, fuck. Why would you
Imagine
put
spending all
bags
that
in
money on a
car?
Commodore.
Weird
I
flex,
know,
but
right?
okay.
You
There's
just had
some
to
guy
go for
around
the
here with a
flex.
similar system on one of those new Mustangs, and it just looks gay as hell.
Put your left foot in, you put your right foot in, you take your left foot out, and then you
And
run it
then-
into a crowd.
No, actually, hang on. I do need to interject there. You know what? Those new Mustangs, they do actually handle fairly well with their
Oh, fuck oath they do.
independent rear suspension.
I was about to say that's because they finally don't have suspension from the 1930s.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah,
and
but
they've
what,
also
they
worked
have-
out most of the bugs with the traction control system as well.
Yeah, that'd help. So is that just the brand new ones, or is that like the 2015 model as well?
2015.
Oh,
To be
good.
fair-
I don't really like the brand new ones. 2015 model looks pretty nice.
I do like Adam Elzay's GT350.
Don't ever say it's a Mustang or he will like hate you.
Yeah, I know it's not a
But
Mustang.
it is a Mustang.
Yeah,
It
but
is.
it's not.
Yeah.
It
Like,
literally is.
I think we should.
It's as he says,
it's a
Shelby.
Shelby. You can't call it a Mustang. It's a 350.
Oh my
fucking
god,
KR.
it's a Mustang with a different motor and a body kit. Oh, I can do that with my fucking Commodore too. Hey.
I have an
So,
idea.
okay, actually, here's a good one for you. There is a BA Falcon in Perth somewhere, like an orange one, I think it was, with a Mustang body kit on it.
Baller.
Like you just see
Ugh.
this
Oh, you mean
four-door
like,
Mustang.
No.
Is that like
Looking
what, a body
motherfucker.
kit from like the 05
Yeah,
Mustang?
yeah.
Ooh, they look great
No.
when they're not.
No, they don't.
When they're not attached to a BA Falcon.
They
I
no,
don't
they
mind
just
the
don't look
05
good
Mustang.
anyway.
Oh, okay.
Good chat, guys.
Yep, that's okay.
So that's the end of the
Opinions, do be
podcast,
caring.
yeah? Are we ending it there?
Yeah, that's it. Single confrontation. All right, we're ending it here, guys. Thanks for listening.
I think we should talk about the last podcast and how it went up yesterday, 23 hours ago.
Oh, I wasn't here for that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No.
Someone dog the fucking boys.
yeah, for good reason, because all you talk about is Subarus.
Oh,
Bruh, who cares? Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I think we should talk about the first podcast briefly and the comments section. Obviously, we've not got much in the way of comments. It's been up 24 hours, and with our combined 9 billion reach, it's only been seen 300 times. But yeah, we've had some suggestions to get an Assetto Corsa server up.
Yep.
We had a brief chat about this before the podcast, obviously, and we can't really do Assetto because I don't have a wheel, and the game
Pov.
Assetto.
Pov.
POV, yeah.
we drive
Indeed.
real cars.
Fucking buy
We
it,
don't,
dickhead. What do
Dalby,
you
we don't
mean?
even drive our real cars. Anyway,
That's true.
That's right, because they're fucked.
anyway,
Boo.
instead of Assetto, we had a chat about doing maybe a Forza 4 server. Yeah, I'm down for that. We've got old Xbox 360s. I'm pretty sure it's backward compatible. Let's kick it up and sort it out, and try and have a crash.
Yeah. Alternatively, you can probably do literally any other Forza after that, or any of the Horizons or something, because they're much more popular. So it's more likely more people have them.
That
Oh,
is,
Motorsport 7.
I don't have a single motorsport after 4.
Yeah, me neither. I have 5 because it came with my console, and that's it. I have all the Horizons though. So
I've only
Yeah.
got 3 and 4 on Game Pass, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, guys, but the Horizon Festival's cancelled due to coronavirus.
yeah,
Fuck
that was
off.
well, I knew that was coming. As soon as I mentioned the Horizon games, I was like, "Oh, someone's gonna crack this joke." We did a post about that ages ago, but I was gonna like repost that, and I was like, "Nah, wait. Surely there's something that's like even quirkier than that." And it was like someone had done a meme where Battle Machine from Need for Speed Pro Street was cancelled, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah,
sake.
that'll excite all the boomers." So I put that one on the
I haven't
page,
actually
even though-
played Pro Street. Is that any
I
good?
missed that game.
It's not bad. It depends on who you ask, really. I quite like it because I like my track racing, as I explained in the last episode. So that one's kind of like the perfect simcade for the era. Whoever did that meme, they were like, "Oh, Battle Machine's cancelled due to coronavirus." They used an image of nitrocide, and then yeah. So I looked at that. I was like, "Oh, okay, that doesn't really make sense." But cheers. But no, I quite like Pro Street. I have it on disc. I have Underground through to Pro Street on disc,
Fuck
except
yeah.
Right
Underground's second disc, because Underground and Underground 2 were still like, games
On
that came from an
CDs.
era. Yeah, well, they were games from an era where you couldn't fit the whole game on one CD, so they come in 2 parts.
No, that's the thing. They didn't
Um,
even come on CDs. They came on fucking. Sorry, they didn't come on DVDs. That was their problem.
Yeah, they didn't come on DVD-ROMs or whatever it was. They came on fucking whatever the tiny ones were. So yeah,
Mini
they
discs.
they have 2 discs, because they can't fit the whole game on one disc. So the first disc obviously is for installing the game, and the second disc is for installing the other half and then playing the game. But the second disc is too scratched, so it doesn't work.
Ooh.
Bastard.
And
That just
Pro
brings back a
Street
memory.
Pro Street just doesn't work. Like Pro Street will just freeze when I finish some events, and then I can't do anything. I can't continue. I can't restart. I can't escape. Like I push the button, it
man.
makes the clunking noise to tell you that the game has registered it, but I can't. I'm just soft locked. So
I
that one
remember
doesn't
my
work either.
PS2. I remember my PS2. It's like you'd load it in, and if the game works, you'd get the loud as fuck intro to PS2.
Oh man.
Or if it didn't work, you'd sit there and it'd just be like, and it'd come up with the thing, "Hey, your disc can't be read." And you'd sit there breathing on it, huffing on it, like, and like rubbing it on your shirt, trying to get it to fucking work.
Any
Yeah,
of you
either
boys
ascend to
original
the
Xbox
heavens or go
boys?
sent to hell.
Huh?
Any of you boys like original Xbox boys?
I
Yeah,
am.
yeah.
The
Well-
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
What a game.
No, but have you guys ever like left your original Xbox running for that long, where it comes up with like all kinds of weird alien sounding noises on the dashboard if you leave it for
I've
like
heard
hours?
about that.
Yeah, mine's done it.
I
didn't get to
remember one
experience it,
night-
but I heard about it.
I had my Xbox up playing on the end of my bed, and I had a fucking decent sound system in my room, right? Now, the
Yeah.
problem with this was when I left it on, in the middle of the night, I just wake up and get real freaked out by this fucking noise. I'm just like, what the fuck was that? Goosebumps all over me. Holy shit. That gave me a scare.
Can't be
Never
worse
heard of
than
that, to be honest.
waking up. It can't be worse than waking up in the middle of the night to the PS1's Fearful Harmony.
Oh,
Yes.
mate.
Oh, actually, no, it's not the Fearful Harmony. It's Personified Fear. It's one or the other. I've forgotten. Both got similar names. One of them is just like a bunch of little sounds like a wind chime.
Yep.
And that one's pretty mellow. That's still a little bit eerie, but it's not frightening. The other one is just like a sharp, note. And I remember watching a guy who was like doing a video to record it so that other people could see it. And he's like, right, okay, I've got my disc. Pops it in. It can't read the disc. Now we have to sit and wait, and you have to wait for ages It only happens if you leave the console on for like maybe 20 minutes. So by that point, he's fallen asleep. He's set up on the couch and he's got the camera on the computer, on the TV screen on his lap or on his chest because he's lying down. And you can see he's kind of fallen asleep. And then all of a sudden you just hear this it's like shattering glass almost. It's like, that sharp noise, and it plays, and he jumps off the couch. Like he gets fucking jump scared by the sound of this PS1. And that'd be awful. Like, I'm sure the Xbox One, not the Xbox One, the original Xbox.
I still call it the Xbox One.
Yeah, well, the original Xbox One, those alien noises probably wouldn't be too comforting either, but...
Man, just
I don't know
thinking
what's
about
worse.
it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse, being freaked out by eerie noises or just straight up getting scared shitless.
Oh, man, fucking hell. While I'm
In the
trying to
topic
sleep
of
as well,
like
fuck
scary
me.
shit, you ever get those people like who just send you things? It's like, share this in 20 seconds or your mum will die tomorrow.
Oh,
You know
fuck
that shit?
those.
Someone just sent me a thing and it was like, hi, my name's so-and-so who died so-and-so many years ago. If you don't share this, your mum will die in 20 minutes. So please share this now.
Haunt your house.
Hi, I'm a Nigerian scammer, and your parents have died here, leaving you a fuck ton of money.
I
good afternoon,
I just
madam.
started watching meme compilations where in the middle of the video they'll just have a thing that's like the video right now, or you get 100 years bad luck. It's like, are you that desperate? Come on.
That's it. Yeah.
Monies.
Because of this quarantine thing, I've been playing Minecraft, and I've not played Minecraft since it was in beta. So it's like a new
Holy
game. It's a
shit.
totally different game to me.
Cheers.
So I've had to
Fucking
watch.
bees, cunt.
Yeah, I've had to watch YouTube videos to like learn how it works. The issue with those YouTube
Yeah.
videos is 95% of them are made by like 4-year-olds, and they're all like, subscribe now or get 3 years of bad luck, and you're like, I'm not subscribing to you because you've put that, you little wanker. I would rather
Download Technic so we can play. Get Tekkit so we can play.
Yeah.
No, get Feed the Beast Revelations. That's good shit.
Oh, Tekkit, mate.
I think.
I'm in the
Oh my
same
god.
boat for Minecraft because I didn't get to play Minecraft on the computer when I was a kid. First of all, because I was never really into it. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this thing's sick," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm good with my racing games. Cheers."
Yeah.
But I got it on the Xbox 360 when I got that, and so that is the only version of Minecraft I've ever experienced. And of course, that one's from it came out on the console in like 2011, 2012, whenever it was. And that's the only version I've played. And then I played it sometime last year on my friend's Xbox One because they were like, "Oh yeah, I've got Minecraft here, guys, play it for a bit." And I'm like, "What the fuck is this? This is completely different, cunt. What's going on?" And my friend's like, "Have you never played Minecraft?" I'm like, "No, I've played it. I've played it like nearly a decade ago. What's happening?"
See, old Minecraft was good. I got into Minecraft when Doors made like the old sound, and it was like that was me in Minecraft, and then I kind of fell out of Minecraft as they started to add more silly features. Like things got more ridiculous. There were more mobs and so on, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of bored of this. And then we found a game on Xbox 360 that was free on the marketplace or whatever, and it was called Total Miner, and it was practically OG Minecraft. Is the worst thing I've ever played ever, by the way. Like, hideous game. Like, in normal Minecraft, the spiders make some funky hissing noises, and they're kind of, like, a little bit creepy. In Total Miner, spiders are the same size as a house and scream at you violently.
Oh.
It was just terrifying. And you'd walk into a cave, and you'd turn around, and you'd just see a massive pair of red eyes, and then something would scream at the top of its lungs, and you're like, this is game over. I've died. And you'd shit yourself. It was ridiculous. The best part of Total Miner, though.
Gamer podcast.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
The best part of Total Miner, though. I love how this is meant to be about cars. We're like, yeah, Minecraft.
We'll mod cars into Minecraft later.
Yeah, that's fine. The best part of Total Miner, by a long fucking way, was in Minecraft, if you crouch, you become like a block and a half tall. You've still got to have a 2-block height to go through. But in Total Miner, you could do 1 block. Like, if you crouched, you were 1 block tall, which meant you could do what we called midget tunnels. And we used to do servers with, like, me and my mates. And all of a sudden, you'd be like, you'd be building your house out of. There was some stupid coloured blocks as well. You could get the raster block, which was like raster colours. So you used to build
What,
like your
yeah,
whole
it
house
smokes
out.
weed or?
No, it was green, red, and orange, or yellow, or whatever it
Just
is.
want to note
Alright.
today is 420.
Oh.
Hang on,
Oh,
hang on. No,
shit.
it's
It's 420 for the
420.
entire month.
No, it's the 20th of the 4th of the 20. So
Um,
like we have a full month of
No,
420.
Yeah.
It's not
But
420,
I missed it because-
Spastic. It's the 4th of the 4th. What are you on
It's
about?
the 4th. Yeah, but it's
Right, is it?
2020. It's April 2020. The whole month
fuck
is
me,
420.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Bruh.
No, but
Yeah,
today
I've
at
really lost track of
420.
time.
Weed.
We got 420 for the whole month, bro.
Anyway, coming very quickly back to the raster block. You build your house out of the raster block, you build the raster cave, and then all of a sudden your mate would come in through a 1x1 block in the wall and fill your house with water, seal it back up, and leave. It was awful to play. It was just
Sounds
us
like the kind of
abusing each other.
shit I'd do.
It was
Yeah,
just
it sounds
stupid.
pretty legit.
It was an amazing game. I think you can still get it on Xbox Marketplace. But you need like
Yeah?
a
Is it for
360.
Xbox One or
360. But you might be able to get it for one. I don't know. Just search Total Miner. We might. Yeah, we'll see what's what.
I'm gonna look this shit up.
Anyhow,
Well, I suppose staying on the topic of games, just moving over to cars. We mentioned last episode about the
Fuck off! It's on Steam
no way.
bruh.
for $4.50 Australian.
Oh my god, I might need to get it again. Anyway, yes,
Do you want?
cars.
Do
Please
you want to give
continue.
him Do you want to give him a resume to be a developer?
That sounds awful. Yes.
Well, I
Anyway.
suppose staying on the topic of cars and games, or not on the topic of cars and games, on the topic of games, we mentioned in the last episode that you guys were all fused to Underground 2 and Forza 4.
Riders on the
Is there
Storm.
anything else?
Fuck 2. Fucked Underground 2. It's all about Underground 1.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I like both. I kind of actually, Underground 2 was like one of the last Need for Speeds I finally played. And when I got it, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's very different because the physics are quite different to...
Garbage.
You know? Yeah, well, Underground 1 and 2, the black box physics are very different to what they used from Most Wanted and Carbon, which was mostly what I was used to.
So I have never
but it
played
was-
any other Need for Speed than Underground 2. I played Carbon once, hated it, and then
Carbon
never
was
played it
good.
again.
Most Wanted was good.
Yeah, well, I think all of them are pretty good. Everyone's got their favorite. I just, mine was never really. I don't know, I played a ton of Carbon. Carbon was the first one I played, and it's actually my least favorite because I played it first, so it kind of set the benchmark. But I decided I liked everything else I played after that better, including Pro Street. So Carbon's kind of down the bottom for me, although it's not bad. It's very popular. A lot of people consider it their favorite.
Number 3 is my favorite. I've got a fucking big box copy of that motherfucker.
What, Need for Speed 3?
Yeah, Hot Pursuit, like the original Hot Pursuit.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah. Oh, I have a great short story about. So, I don't know, maybe you guys didn't have this because you went to school all a bit earlier than me. Sam might be able to relate. We had a computer lab.
Yep.
So, yep, school's got a room that's just full of computers, and kids go in there and they do their assignments like when you're in primary school, and sometimes you can go in there during your lunch breaks. So we had a computer lab, and basically you'd go in there, and I think after a certain year they made it so they were trying to keep us safe, so we couldn't just go onto random websites. We had to go onto like cool math games.
Oh,
But
fuck.
No meat
before that, before we used the computer lab, well, everyone else would use the computer lab. There was, I think she was the chaplain, and there was a chaplain room, and that was where kids like did drawings and shit. But there were two, so the computer lab was filled with like, you know, relatively new computers. I was in primary school in like the mid to late 2000s. So they still had like, you know, they had flat screens and pretty compact desktops. In the chaplain room, they still had like off-white brick monitors and the massive
fuck yeah.
desktops of the late 90s.
Like the old
So-
CRTs.
Yeah, so they were like probably 10 years old by then, assuming this was like 2008, 2009. So, and I'm in grade 2 or 3. And so I've just started playing like Midnight Club 2 and Ford Racing 3 and Ford Street Racing, and kind of games that aren't really all that well known. But I've got some
They were good
introduction
games,
to
though.
it. So, oh yeah, they were great. I love the Ford Racing games, and Midnight Club's my favorite game series. But they had these old computers. Long story short, they had these old computers. They were super slow. One of them I used to try to play, like, I think it's called Drone Racer, whatever the
Oh,
Lego
yeah.
Flash browser game was. I went and found out what that was called and watched a video on it recently. It's so good. But we used to try to play that. It was so bad. That was literally a Flash browser game, and it ran at like 2 FPS. It was so bad. But another computer, that was also an old one, had a disc copy of Need for Speed 2. And breaks
Ooh,
are
yes.
not long in primary school. Breaks are like, I mean, supposed to they're longer than they are in high school. So I think the longest one was maybe 40 minutes, if I remember correctly. So I'd sprint to this chaplain room, boot up this computer, take like 5 or 10 minutes just to get started, and then open up the game. And we didn't have sound, unfortunately. The Need for Speed 2 main menu music is so iconic, but
Oh,
we didn't get
cunt, don't
sound,
get me
so
started on 3.
I didn't get. Oh yeah, 3 and 4 have really great soundtracks. So I didn't get exposed to them until that Legends update in Need for Speed 2015. That was the first exposure I got to them. But
Oh, yeah, where they did the remix of, like, fucking Romulus 3 and shit.
yeah, keep that in mind. I want to come back to that. But yeah, basically, there's this computer, super old, had Need for Speed 2 on it, and I played as much of that as I could. Like the other kids who were like, I was in again grade 2 or 3. And like the primary school seniors that are in like grade 6 or 7, they would like huddle around the computer to watch me play. I wasn't like an esport pro. I was fucking 9 or some shit. I was 8. But they didn't even want to play themselves. They just watched me play. And it was great. I had very fond memories of that. I haven't played it since, but it's just like this little hidden gem hidden away in my memories is from ages ago. It was really cool. And that was probably the only experience I got of stuff like that. Because like I said in the last episode, I didn't get older siblings that had PS1s or 2s or original Xboxes or anything. So that was the best thing I had aside from any of the games my dad would pirate for me through his PC.
Only child rep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro.
Yep.
Cool story, bro.
Sorry, that was
Everyone
my
acknowledged the fact that the little lasser that could put coffee into his sugar.
Okay. So this morning, to give an insight, we filmed this at 9 in the morning in the UK on a Saturday, which is like reasonable time for the
You
guys.
completely cut out. What did you just say?
did.
You just went
Yeah.
completely mute.
Okay. So we record this at 9 in the morning UK time on a Saturday. So when me and Dalby start this, or me and Jake's posting, we are quite tired. So that Friday nights are a long night, as most people do. So this morning I went to make myself a coffee to wake up. I'm looking at it on the table in front of me. And as I got the coffee out of the pot, went to move it over to my cup, I put it straight in the pot of sugar and ruined an entire pot of sugar. Because as I tried to fish it out, it stirred more of the sugar and the coffee. So I eventually wound up with a lovely coffee sugar blend that was completely unusable for anyone. So I wound up binning probably about 300 grams of sugar this morning.
Nice.
Great.
Brilliant.
What was this about the music from 2015 you wanted to touch on?
Power.
Oh, I just wanted to go back to how great the soundtracks of the first 4 games were. I mean, really, all the Need for Speeds have great games. I've actually been meaning to make a post on the page about being in a kind of mood to hit the Toge and Blast 90s era Need for Speed soundtracks compared to anything from like Underground 1 to Most Wanted and Carbon.
Absolutely.
Because all of them are great, but they've got very distinctive differences. You can really tell where after Underground 2 they were like, oh yes, Little John and the East Side Boys and Riders on the Storm and all that. Whereas
Rom DePrisco
before
did
that-
a fucking job and a half on those.
Oh, absolutely. Because everything before that is like Saki, Kansas, Rom DePrisco, Jeff Dyke, and it's all trance. It's all that sort of 90s trance they did. And it's
That's what I
brilliant.
grew up on. Like I used to, I'd listen to that, and then I used to go hit the Togue with my cousin. Like I was about 3, 4 at this time. Hit the Togue in my cousin's fucking 180SX. CA18 deck with a disco potato on it. That thing was mint. And just listening to old fucking, what was it, Magic and In Search of Sunrise albums of Tiesto's.
Brilliant.
Oh man,
Yeah.
those are the days.
Yeah, that'd been good shit. I suppose I should include the rest of you, and this isn't our podcast. This is everyone's podcast. What did you guys play anything other than Underground 2 and Forza 4?
Fucking
I know when I got my Xbox One, I got like Need for Speed, and it was like Hot Pursuit or something, or
Yes,
Some
Opposite too.
one of the newer ones.
Oh,
And here we go.
The 2010 one.
Yeah, I think it was that one. That game was a
Oh, yeah.
load of bullshit because I got addicted to it. But the saves in that game were fucking crazy because it's like, hey, you'll play for 2 hours. You can't save it manually, but we auto save it. For the whole 2-hour session you just did and almost completed the game. Nah, sorry, we're not going to save that. And so you'd have to start again way back from the fucking beginning. So I completed the game about 4 times before it actually saved. And I was like, fuck this game.
Cheers, Criterion Games. I did quite like Hot Pursuit 2010. I'd play it more on my computer if I could run it, but if and when I get a new one, I'll play it some more.
Oh wait, Criterion Games, the Burnout series.
Yeah, I was about to say, did
Yeah,
anyone play
same guys that did
Burnout? I was
Burnout,
just about
yeah.
to segue onto that.
Oh, yes.
It took me ages to find a copy on the internet of Burnout 3 that was in English for the original Xbox.
Oh,
But it
I've got
was
it on my
well worth
computer,
it.
on my old laptop.
Here we go. Here's something that gets everyone included. I actually was really late to Burnout. I did not play 1, 2, 3 or Revenge. The first one I played was Paradise in like...
Paradise is garbage in
This
comparison.
gets me so
yeah, oh,
excited.
absolutely.
What have you discovered, Dalby?
Burnout. Like I know we're on the. I played it from the first one to the last one, and I'm obsessed.
There you
Oh,
go.
mate.
At least we got some inclusion now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I've
great.
only played Burnout 3.
The crash challenges, like it's my like
Yes.
speciality.
Yeah, Crash Mode. Everyone loves Crash
Me and my
Mode. It's good
dad used to
shit.
play that shit out of that.
Love crashing.
You love great. We've
Now.
noticed. I've seen you drive.
Here's another
It was
one.
really
Rally Sport
disappointing.
Challenge.
It was really disappointing.
Did you say
I
Rally
wasn't
Sport
bored.
Challenge? Oh my
Yeah.
god, what a game!
Yes.
Oh yes, what a fucking game! Oh man, that was.
What is that?
So Rally Sport
Oh.
Challenge was a game on original Xbox and PS2 that was like a rally stage game. It was before like the dirt games, and it was basically just rally stages, and you got normal rally instructions. You got put in rally cars. It was all like dirt, really. It was difficult. It was a hard game, but it was a lot of fun. It's one of those games that you can find for free now online because it's so old and there's nothing like you get an emulator for it. But
Oh, yeah.
Rally Sport Challenge was just fucking awesome as a game. So good.
Right
yeah.
before, I was going to say, I do want to talk about rallying games as well. I was just say quickly to some of Burnout, I didn't get to play it until Paradise, and that was like 2010, 2011. I probably finally played Paradise. Got it on PC, played it a lot, quite liked it. It was very dark though. I played it in a room that was very well lit by natural light, and the glare was so bad that anytime it became nighttime in the game, I couldn't see shit. And being the child I was like 10, I genuinely could not react fast enough to actually play much of the game. Like every other game I played, I wasn't great at, but I could do it, as a single-digit age kid. But Burnout, I was just like, damn, this is really hard. I just can't move my fingers on the keyboard fast enough. But yeah, Burnout was Paradise. Paradise was the only one I got to play, and then I got a 360, and of course, rebought it because it's quite good. And then I went ahead and rebought it on Steam as well, and now it's not on Steam anymore because they've got the remastered version. But I went and bought Revenge because I went, right, well, I really need to play the earlier Burnout games because I haven't done that. So I went and bought Revenge probably the end of 2018, and I love it. I love Revenge. It's so good. I was
Yeah.
actually really disappointed. I got the other admin over to come and play with me, and he just after one game he was like, "Oh, this is shit. I don't want to play this." And I'm like, "What? Why
played
not?" And he goes, "I only like games with free roam." And he puts the controller down. He's like, "That's why I like Paradise." And I'm like, ah. So
When I was in like year,
What a
I think it was year 10, we all downloaded like Burnout 3 on the computers, and like during lunchtime we'd sit down and all play like Burnout 3 and do fucking derbies and shit, and like all the like specialty fucking like crash things you could do. It was fucking amazing. I think I still got it somewhere, but I can't remember where.
Well, the reason I didn't get to play the original Burnout games is because, like I said before, I only had a computer. And of course, Burnout Paradise is the only one that came to PC. So I only got Revenge because I don't have my 360 anymore. I only got Revenge because it came to backwards compatibility. So now I'm playing a game that was made for the original Xbox and PlayStation 2 that got ported to the 360 in HD that is now backwards compatible on the Xbox One. It's like 3 generations old. But it's great. So yeah, I need to go ahead and like get an emulator set up or buy a PS2 and play 1, 2, and 3 because the soundtracks in 2 and 3 are fucking killer. They are
Oh,
brilliant.
so good.
I am now downloading Burnout Revenge as we speak on my Xbox One. It's just turned
Well, if
on.
the online servers were off, I'd be on there with you right now. I would love to have experienced that game's online functionalities. But yeah, moving on from that, rally games. So you guys were saying what was the Rally Championship or what's
Rally
Rally
Sport
Sport.
Challenge.
So we're going back
How
to
old's that one?
That is old. Like that was
I think it was
original
like
Xbox.
2003.
Oh, okay. So it's not ancient, but it's getting there.
Rally Sport Challenge was 2002.
is
Yeah.
that the one on the
Yeah.
N64?
I don't know if that was on N64.
So I was going to say, I don't think it's quite that old.
And
might have
number
been
2.
for the GameCube. No, did the GameCube get discontinued in 2001? I think that's
No, that was when it
2001.
was released. I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, you're right. Because Metro Street Racer was a launch title for it in 2000. That was what became Project Gotham Racing. That's another game.
Oh,
people didn't talk
I was
about.
actually going to mention
PGR.
Project.
I was talking about Project Gotham Racing on the last stream. That's
Project Gotham was
Were you?
awesome.
Yeah, I've got the Beat the Creator achievement on that.
I managed to get a copy of
Oh.
Project Gotham Racing 4 for the Xbox, and I remember PGR 2, one of the best racing games on the original Xbox. Also, most of my time was just spent in the showroom and fucking going around the track. If you guys remember that one?
Ah, yeah, you could like go walk around all the cars.
Yeah,
Just walk
and I
around.
went onto PGR 4, and I couldn't play it. I played it for about 10 minutes and just said, "No, can't play this. It's garbage."
That's the one that I got the
Mm.
Beat the Creator achievement on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a proper
Like-
flex getting an achievement like that.
That's hectic.
Which-
It's one of the
which PGR?
hardest. PGR,
4.
I think it was 4 that was.
Yeah, like the only
Okay.
one on 360, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin
no, it
McRae
was.
Rally 04.
No, it wasn't. 3 was on the 360 as well, but 4
Was it?
and like 3 was like a launch title for
Oh,
Xbox
course.
360, I think. But yeah, no, 4's great. Other admin and I love 4. He still has his 360, so when I sold mine, I donated all of my games to him. So he's got a shit ton. He's got all of his games plus mine, plus his computer died like a year ago, and he didn't have the money. He didn't have the time or money to fix it, so he just whipped out the 360 instead, and he'd been playing that for months. So every time we went to like the shops, he'd go into EB Games and look in the discount bin and get like 4 games for $10. Or 4 games for $20 or whatever it was. So now he's got a shit ton of 360 games. But yeah, he loves PGR4. I was like, oh, I haven't really played it. I'm not really sure. I played it a bit and was like, yeah, nah, not sure if I like it. And he went, oh, I started playing it. It's really good. And so yeah, I came over and we played it split screen. We both love it. Every time I go and visit him, we whip out the 360 and play some PGR4. And we got 3 as well. And that's pretty decent, but I'm dying to play. That's PGR 1 and 2 are another. That's another couple of games that I'm really desperate to play, as well as the first Midnight Club
So
and the
good.
first few Burnouts is the first 2 PGRs because they look brilliant, and I haven't had the pleasure of playing them yet. So
My first Midnight Club was 3.
Yeah,
What?
I was
How does
saying-
that rank amongst the other ones? And that's the only one I played.
three's
Sorry.
probably. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, three's definitely the strongest. That was the one I got started on. I mentioned in the last episode I played it on my cousin's PSP and then came home and went, Dad, I want the game. But we only had the PC, so I had to play 2. Because 2 was the only Midnight Club game available on PC. But no, 3 is definitely the strongest. Did you have just regular 3 or remix?
I had 3. The dub edition's just the normal one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
It's
I
dumb
don't know.
that they did that.
I know. Anyway, I had that one. The disc got fucked pretty quickly, so I couldn't actually start up new games, but I could play old saves. The disc was that cooked. But then I ended up
Okay.
getting a copy of Dub Edition Remix off the net and then loading that onto the modded Xbox. And it's not as good as I.
Damn, really?
was like-
It's just one of those games where you kind of go back to it, and it's a
What?
bit too nostalgic.
That was like me for MX vs ATV Unleashed. I tried to go back to that like a few years ago, and I'm like, fuck, what happened to this game?
Or if other admin was here, he'd be having the outrage I'm having right now about Midnight Club. He loves MX versus ATV. He has. It turns out
man.
Need for Speed Underground 2 and I think it's MX versus ATV Unleashed. Whatever the like mid 2000s one was for the PS2. That one apparently those two games share quite a few songs. So he played
Yeah,
Rise
I
Again.
think
He
it
played
might-
yeah, there's like maybe 2 or 3 songs. So he played Nobody by Skindred in the car. And I was like, oh, I know this song's from Underground 2. And he's like, what, cunt? This is from MX versus ATV. And I'm like, oh, well, it's from Underground 2 as well. And then a few minutes later, Give It All by Rise Against came on. And I was like, oh, it's this song as well. And then he went, again, this is from MX vs ATV. And I'm like, fuck you, it's from Underground 2. Turns out that song was also in Flat Out 2.
Oh wait, oh no!
Wow.
When you said
Wow.
Burnout, I thought you were talking about Flat Out. Oh man, Flat Out.
What a game.
Yeah, I was going to say, because when you were saying Burnout 3, I was like, Burnout 3 wasn't on PC, bro.
Wait,
Yeah,
did
no, it
anyone
wasn't.
get
But
to
someone
play?
downloaded. Flat Out 4. Wait, was it Flat Out 4 or Flat Out 2?
About two
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
I'm
been
just
two.
googling this right now. Yeah,
I haven't played
Flat
any of
Out
the Flat
2.
Outs.
Oh my god. Oh
Flat Out's
man.
great. I picked up Flat Out because other admin played Flat Out 2 when he was a kid. He played it on his laptop in school when we were in high school. He was like, yeah, no, it's sick. So when I got my laptop, I got it on Steam, gave it a go, and was like, yeah, this isn't bad. I only did this recently. So I got the
Did-
first
oh,
one as
man.
well to try
Did
that
it-
out. That one wasn't terrible, but Flat Out 2 is great. I still need to play Ultimate Carnage, which is the HD remaster, and 4. No one wants to play 3 because 3 is dog shit, but
Did anyone get to
4
play
isn't
this?
too bad.
Mighty Road Trip Adventure.
What's
No.
this? Hang
What's a
on.
Mighty Road Trip event? I've never heard of it, if I'm honest.
Sounds kind of familiar.
The cartoon,
Uh,
these little they're like micro machines
no, okay.
kind of.
I didn't think I know the game. I haven't played it. I think I know it though.
And, like,
the
you have-
car's like really squished.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're really stubby. Yeah, no, I think I've seen some memes made out of it and some little bit of gameplay.
this game honestly ruined my childhood because it's all I used to play. You get flying cars. You can get flying cars, and you get skylines, and you can just race around. It just used to be the coolest little arcade game ever. It was like a proper
Fuck it.
free roam, go here, there, everywhere, modify your car. It was super cool.
Oh, that reminds me. Have you guys ever played a game called Street Racing Syndicate?
Yes, I have. I just saw the pictures that you adjusted, by the way. That looks fit. No, I have played SRS. That was another game I picked up on Steam for fucking nothing because it's a Namco rip-off game, but I actually didn't mind it. I have
Oh, I loved
way too many hours on it. I have like over 100 hours on it on Steam. It's stupid.
Is that it?
Is that all? Amateur.
Rookie
no, I
numbers.
gave it
You
a
just
try
put
and
those
did not
I
numbers
love
up.
how it's just like one of your goals is to get girlfriend. inside the game.
Yeah, that's an actual thing. To reach 100%, you have to go and unrealistically pick up girls because they're unironically interested in your driving, unlike most regular girls.
Mate, if I
But yeah.
fucking most birds in like I talk to, they're fucking like, oh boy, I'm not going in this car.
I will not get in the big lowered sedan.
No, no,
No,
mate. Most of them
no,
know me
that
from
is
my
your
Subaru
car.
days.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Yeah, that'll
most-
do it.
Most of them love the Majesta, but like, oh fuck me, like the twin turbo lib and the big Lebo spec WRX that just shits fuel.
Oh my god, Lebo.
Oh my god, you le.
Oh, bro, let's. Oh, that was New
Oh my
Zealand.
god.
Oh, you fucking dickhead.
51.
Fat pizza.
Let's go for some skids in my sick VL turbo.
My
Kick pick
whole,
Habib.
the canary yellow.
But no, I do remember True Racing Syndicate. That was one of those cheapo ones on Steam because Steam doesn't really have a lot of old school racing games. So I saw that and was like, "Yep, it's better than nothing." And it wasn't terrible. It's a Uchetnik's
Nah.
game, so the physics are fucked. But other than that, it's pretty alright.
It's funny how I struggle to drink 2 glasses of water a day, but 5 beers will go down plenty in an hour.
Oh yeah. Fuck it. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna go get myself a fucking Guinness.
A Guinness.
Hey.
Jesus.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, Guinness is mint.
Look at
Fuck
right.
you being all cultured.
So I need to talk about Guinness. I don't drink much at all. When I do drink, it's like super soft. I'm really weak with it.
Oh my god.
But,
Drift Matsuri.
Drift Matsuri but Drift Matsuri was hilarious. We had like a million. What were we drinking?
Actually, I'm gonna go grab some food. I'll
I
grab
was
some food. Get you
Desperado,
on the
man.
Discord, and I'll be
Yeah,
back.
fair. So
Alright.
yeah, I don't really drink. Drift Matsuri last year, October Matsuri. Me and Delby here had like 3 million Desperados. But anyway, I don't really drink, and I went out clubbing with my little brother a while ago. I want to say he dragged me out, but I think I dragged him out in the end because I was like, he always goes clubbing. He loves it. He's all like, yeah, clubbing, this, that, the other. So I went out with him in Bournemouth. And he got a Guinness, and I'd never tried Guinness, and I tried it, and honestly, to me, it tasted like beef. I've had some awful beverages, but Guinness was up there. It was not my favourite thing.
It's
That
just
yeah, that belongs in the bin. But coming
it's
back
worse
to
than me, and I'm thick and black.
Jesus Christ, we are.
Jesus Christ.
Is it racism if it's about yourself?
Not really. Just an observation. I'm thick as fuck. As in my penis.
Same though.
Yeah, Delby's horny.
We are 300% getting banned from YouTube. That's right.
Horny
It's the second
all the
podcast that
time.
we've put out and we
I
are banned.
am
horny, y'all.
Horny in the podcast.
I'm spending too much time on TikTok.
Oh,
Whoa.
Oh no.
I'm not a nonce, I promise.
you are.
I do not own TikTok, never will, never have.
Yeah, I'm with Sam. I didn't install the app for good reason.
Yeah, I don't have
Rated.
it.
I just stayed well away from it. When it first started up, I watched a few compilations on YouTube, but that was like when it very first started. I haven't touched it since then. Don't watch compilations, don't watch anything.
I'll see the occasional post on Facebook, like it's an actual TikTok, and you sit there and you're like, huh. You like expel a little bit of air, then stop, and just like,
Yeah, yeah, true.
like,
I did see a
wait,
really
wait.
good one today about being a kid and falling asleep on the couch watching a DVD, and then it like restarts, and it has that fucking "you wouldn't steal a car" intro thing, and it just starts playing full blast, and the guy on the couch just fucking just flips over off the bed, and I was like,
You
"Oh,
wouldn't
shit,
download a
I'm getting
house?"
Flashbacks.
My
Yeah, you
favourite
wouldn't
one.
download a house.
My favourite one is I don't know
And
if
then
any of
they've
you.
got 3D printers these days. Look at it now.
It's true.
You
I don't
wouldn't
know if any of
download a
you,
car.
if any of you guys ever watched the IT Crowd. I don't know if you.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so you've seen it. So I gather you've
Mhm.
probably seen the advert they did about you wouldn't pirate a movie and it gets utterly stupid. You wouldn't steal a baby. You wouldn't shoot a policeman. You wouldn't find that policeman's grieving widow, shit in his hat, and then post it to him as a gift. And you're all like, whoa! And they're like, these anti-piracy ads are getting really heavy now. You're like, yeah, no shit, you shot a policeman.
When I was going through my apprenticeship training, they showed us a video of like an OH&S safety thing, and the video is completely fucked up. It's like not from Australia. And then there's a forklift going around with a guy with a time through his chest, screaming with a chainsaw in his hand, running through, knocking people down and fucking causing manic.
Oh,
It was crazy.
I love the
So
input there.
educational.
What the fuck?
Much
That was great.
education.
Much education. Very information.
Yeah.
Why does Dolby have beer on his head?
He was Desperado Man. That was Drift Matsuri.
I was wearing a poncho for the entire weekend.
It was amazing. I'm surprised we're allowed back to Drift Matsuri, if I'm honest. It was pretty hectic.
Oh, you cunts should see the Matt story over here. Oh boy.
Man, the only Matsuri around here is like 5 hours away.
See, I'm down
No,
for attending
We've got one in
yeah,
country town, maybe about 200 kilometers away from Perth, and oh boy, good shit.
specific.
I'm
I like
a
it.
good hour and a half away from my nearest drift track, because as I stated in the last episode, the only track I've got near me is a hill climb, and all that is like time attacks and shit like that. So you've just got to go fast. But like, I want to go to a drift event, and Calder Park is like a good hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. So if I ever want to go there, it's a good trip, and I better hope my car works afterwards, because otherwise I'm not getting fucking home.
Are you in New South Wales or Victoria?
Nah, Victoria.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's kind of fortunate. I would love to do a hill climb event. I'm the complete opposite. I don't really care about drift events, but I'd love to do a hill climb. That'd be sick.
Yeah, they're fun if you're they're fun if you want to get times. Like, they're really competitive, and it's really fun if you want to get like a good time. But if your car is set up for drifting and you've got no grip in the arse end,
no, that's
it's
fair
not that
enough.
fun.
No,
Straight
You
up.
need as much grip as possible.
Yeah, you wouldn't be wanting to do a hill climb in an S chassis. That's understandable.
No, I've
There's
done
a-
it, and it's
They used to
Yeah.
do one near my house. We still have the Noosa Hill Climb, and that's pretty well known. I used to go to that like every year, and then I went to Europe one year when it was on, and I haven't gone since because I've never been able to find out when it's on. So then one weekend I'll be going into Noosa, and I'll go, oh fuck, the hill climb's on. I had no idea, and of course I'm going to do something else. I don't have time to go and see the hill climb. But they used to do it like that's in Noosa's, a couple kilometers, like maybe 50 kilometers away nearly. But they used to do one like literally right outside my street. So I live up on a mountain. So they used to, when I first moved here from Brisbane, when I was like 6, they
Posting, are you going to get
who the
mad?
fuck is watching a video?
No, he's not. He's driving.
He's in.
Bruh.
wait.
Where's he going?
But yeah, but posting. is
Macca.
good.
Wait, no, he said he was gonna go get food. He's gonna get Macca's.
He actually get on his phone, get in the car, and start driving.
Yeah.
Bruh,
That's amazing.
you're
Um,
fucking crazy.
I'm
I
just
love that.
saying-
It's
I've got to be
great.
quiet when he orders his meal.
Oh mate, I
Yeah.
think we'll end the podcast on him ordering because we're at an hour and 12 anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, they used to do a hill climb right outside my house.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was a hill climb, but like a mountain run, because of course the mountain I live on goes up and down and all over the place. But yeah, and they only must have only did it for like a year or two after I moved here, because they'd have to block off, because there's really only one main road that runs up and over the mountain, and then there's a bunch of little roads that branch off it where I live, and obviously lots of other people live. So they had to block off the entrance to the main road from the side streets. So we were stuck at home basically the weekend that they did it. But with the plus side was we had a front row seat, because there was only so many people on your street, and you had
Fuck
basically
yeah.
the whole street entrance to go and sit there and watch. So we just drive up to the top of the street or walk up, because we live at the very bottom. It's about a kilometer walk kilometer drive, kilometer walk up to the top of the street, and it's all uphill. But yeah, we take a deck chair and we go and sit there, and they had like proper cars. I don't really remember a lot of them, but I distinctly remember there's like GT3 Porsche. So it was, it was cars like that, and I really have a very faint memory of it, but I do remember. So obviously, if that was there were obviously a few more cars like that, because they would have had to do classes. But I don't know what happened to it, because I was only a kid when they first did it, and then they just stopped like a year or two later, and I have no recollection of it after that. But yeah, that was really cool. I would love to do stuff like that, because I don't really live close to tracks either. The closest stuff's in Brisbane, and that's about, if they're on the south side of Brisbane, which they are, they're closer to Ipswich. They're like maybe nearly 200 kilometers south of here. So
Wait, do you know where? Do you know where Middlemount is, or Mount Isa?
Oh yeah, I know where Mount Isa is.
I used to live in Mount Isa for a little while. Then we moved to Middlemount.
Oh, what, in northern Queensland?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just moved away from everything. I just moved from Brisbane, 150 kilometers north to the middle of Whoop Whoop. So, yeah, there is a slight, it's not really a scene. It's not like Lockie. Lockie's down on the Gold Coast. Toge guy, he's down on the Gold Coast, Brisbane way. But I moved away from pretty much any form of, car life. So all we have is a few blokes in Noosa who are like a year or two older than me and have like that one guy selling his S14. Some guy's got a Golf GTI. One guy's got a Stance R34. Someone's got an EP3. One guy's got an XR6 Turbo.
You just can't escape Hondas, can you? Like the EP3 is just like run a mockery in the UK.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Oh yeah, I've heard they're quite
Hateful
common.
machines.
Hey, can I get a double quarter pounder medium meal, please? Oh yeah, quick, no answer. Yeah, that's it, thanks.
Get me some McNuggets.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
you
can
want
you say
nuggets?
your
Yeah,
number and your security code?
No,
Two number nines, a number 9 with cheese, a number 9 with extra dip.
How do you guys not know
You guys
that? That's iconic.
that we in WA called race walk. Something hard.
Oh yeah.
Guys,
Can I get a
Yeah, sorry.
McGang bang?
I need to come back to the GTA Big Smokes order. You got it wrong. It's 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda. You've got to get it right. Winds me up every time.
Yeah. No, the GTA games
quite
are another
sad that you
series
know
of games
that.
that are very well known.
It's not
I
sad.
was gonna say,
It's
I know that
correct.
too. I nearly interrupted to correct him as well, but I thought probably doesn't matter. But thank you for doing it anyway, Tom.
That's absolutely fine. To be honest, at this point, we're at 1 hour and 18 minutes. I think it's probably quite a good time to end.
Yeah, I think that's probably good.
The last one was quite long. That was 1 hour 20, and that was already heaps long. Fuck, it goes so fast. We've got so much shit to talk about. At least we have enough content to span over a few more episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, whatever, follow, send us nudes.
Dislike.
Dislike if you don't like Dalby
Report.
being negative about Subarus. Report us. Do whatever. We don't really care.
Dislike if you don't like SR20s and RVs.
Oh man.
Wow.
Get us banned off YouTube. Cheers.
Thanks. Well, anyway, I think we're going to call it. Everybody, say goodbye. Goodbye.
Catch you guys.
Bye.